Welcome to our YouTube channel, dear subscribers and my beloved students. Today, I would like to say a few words about the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank of the USA, California-based Silicon Valley Bank. And this is master topic of the world at present because we all know Silicon Valley Bank is one of the giant banks and it has invested a huge amount of money in tech startups. And through their investment, a lot of tech startups have grown and they have survived and thrived. But unfortunately and suddenly, this giant bank collapsed and giving a message to many other financial institutes throughout the world. And the relevant question naturally comes, why such a giant bank collapsed? And this is the second giant bank that collapsed since 2018. Well, if we have a look, we will find out several reasons behind this. One is raised interest rate by Federal Reserves of the USA. This is one of the main reasons that increased interest for the depositors and created a liquidity crisis for the bank. This is one of the reasons. And another reason is ineffective management in case of investment. Their investment decision was poor, was not rich enough to earn more and more money. And another issue is sale of bonds or treasury securities, especially the securities supported by the government, US government, and huge loss from the sale of treasury securities. And another issue is that created huge liquidity crisis. And another issue is rumor. Rumor made the depositors scared and they wanted to withdraw their money. And all these things made this bank collapsed or bank run situation is created. Now I'd like to take you to a screen share where you can read this minutely or thoroughly, and we will share this PDF file to our students and in our Facebook group and our Facebook page at the rate of Pathway Tutorial. Those who are eager to sit for bank job written test in Bangladesh can collect this material for your preparation, and people from different countries of the world can watch this video, and you may also collect this information for your desired purpose. Now let's have a look to the screen. I'm taking you to the screen share. Here we will point out and find out the reasons why collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, why the giant bank like Silicon Valley collapsed. Well, now have a look. I'd like to read it out so that you can understand, why it collapsed. Silicon Valley Bank SVB is a respected and renowned financial institute in the world of tech startups has experienced sudden collapse on 10 May 2023. The news of bank run of SVB came not only to its depositors but also to other banks and financial institutes throughout the whole world. Throughout the whole world. Throughout the whole world as a bolt from the blue. SVB failed after a run on the bank from the customers wishing to draw cash. The bank had not enough cash to pay them, so federal regulators had to step in and shut it down. Silicon Valley is the biggest US bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis and the second biggest ever. Just a few days ago, it was a respected player in tech space with thousands of venture capital-backed startups. startups among its customers. Naturally, question arises, how did things go wrong so quickly? Causes of collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. Now have a look. What are the causes behind this? There are a number of factors that are responsible for the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. First of all, the rise of interest rates by US Federal Reserve resulted in some SVB clients to face a cash crunch, crisis of cash. Well, in response, SVB sold its bond portfolio at a loss and announced a stock sale. That means they had bond portfolio, treasury securities, that means securities supported by US government, and they sold it. It resulted in loss, and they also decided to sell their sell shares. Well, okay, and announced a stock sale. However, the stock sale collapsed and SVB went into receivership. Another cause of failure of this bank is investment strategy. SVB made a loss on nearly all of its securities that were available for sale, most of which were US Treasury securities. SVB put the money it received from deposits into long-run treasury bond when interests were low during the tech boom of 2020 and 2021. However, as interest rates started to rise, the market values of these treasuries fell significantly low what SVB paid, prompting depositors to request withdrawals. SVB's inability to meet its financial obligation was caused by this liquidity crisis. Impact of the fall of Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank is such a financial institute, that caters to the specific needs and challenges of tech industry, providing a range of services such as loan, deposits, and investment management. SVB has become a critical player in the startup ecosystem, providing funding and financial services to many successful startups, including Telstra, Uber, LinkedIn. The failure of such a giant bank will result in significant effects on the financial sector and startup community. Another major concern is the potential for bank runs where customers or investors get panicked and start pulling their deposits. As rumors runs apace, panic strike and depositors may withdraw their money from banks, and this may result in bankruptcy for some other banks and financial institutes. Lesson from the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The demise of a person brings sufferings for a number of people, but the collapse of a financial institute invites sufferings and dangers of thousands of people. Collapse of SVB gives a message for all involved in financial sector. This failure of SVB highlights the importance of sound investment strategies and risk management, particularly in the financial sector. It also underscores the need for policymakers to carefully consider the impact of their decisions on the financial system and broader economy. In conclusion, it can be said that prudent decision by the management of financial institutes and consciousness by the depositors can save banking sector from having further incidents of bank runs in the future. What actually learned from this, from the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank? That means Silicon Valley Bank did what? They invested such a time when there is a boom. That means there was a declining stand in tech startup because of COVID-19 in 2020 and 2021. When the rate started to rise, okay, they could not capitalize this because of wrong investment decision, because of wrong decisions of the policymakers. And they wanted to sell bonds and try to make up the liquidity crisis. but there was problems or they could not make profit in selling treasury bonds or the treasury securities. So all these things created a lot of stress inside and outside. And clients of the bank or depositors of the bank thought that they might suffer or incur huge amount of loss. That's why there was a rush from the depositors to withdraw their money. And all these things made this Silicon Valley Bank bankrupt. And what is the lesson from other financial institutions for this? Yes, we have a lesson from the financial institutions, because we will have to gain confidence of the depositors or clients so that they do not withdraw their cash from the banks. Because if they get scared or get panicked for some reason or other, they will try to withdraw their money, and it may create more and more examples of bankrupt throughout the whole world. Because we know rumors runs apace, and with the advent of social communication media, okay, people from each and every corner of the world can come to know what is happening within a minute. Just for this, we have to be cautious, and investors, depositors should respond reasonably, logically. At the same time, management of the bank should take prudent decision. Government should support their bank so that economy can remain survived. So this is all about our this topic, and soon we'll come before you or stand before you with another topic, with new topic. And by this, okay, we hope you to have good day, good time. Thank you all for staying with us.